Hello. Yes, you are the 3 o'clock. No, 2 o'clock. Okay. Yes, I recognise you from last time. Yeah, you were at the emotions clinic, right? Yeah. Just remind me of your name. That's it. And that's with ES. Great. Yes, so what we're going to be doing today is just kind of a little mindfulness session. Yeah, you'll probably recognise a couple of the things we do. We're not going to be as in-depth as last time, but I am going to be checking on your well-being. I'm going to be using some cards, some new ones and some ones you might recognise. Just kind of finding out how you've been, what you can maybe improve upon. Perfect. So how would you say you'd been these past couple of months since you've been here? Okay. And would you say you've been feeling mainly positive emotions or mainly negative, or kind of a mix? Okay. And when you were feeling more sad or angry or anxious, did you know the cause of that? Okay, so you were able to work out why you were feeling that way. Did you feel like you resolved it? Some of the time, yes. I think that's probably the same with everybody. Yes, okay. And when you were feeling in the more positive moods, was there reasons for that? Did it just come over randomly? Okay, so seeing friends, talking to people, doing hobbies and activities that you like. Okay, so it looks like you're really putting what we worked on last time into practice. That's great. So what I want to do today is ask you some questions, if that's alright. There's no right or wrong answers. No, I'm just going to be asking the questions, and I just need you to tell me your truthful answer. Okay. So there's different categories. We have expression, we have inquiry, we have mindfulness, and we have emotion. So we're going to start off with emotion because that's what we worked on last time. So I just need you to answer the question just as truthfully as you can, okay? Okay, so describe the last time you felt extremely happy. It can be even for a little thing, something that just made you feel extremely happy. Okay. And if you can't think of any of these, just keep them in your mind. You don't even have to say them out loud to me if you don't want to. Okay. What makes you feel the most confident? Again, it can be anything. It could be the way you dress. It could be the way you hold yourself. Maybe doing something that you know you're really good at. Can you tell me, what do you think are some qualities of a happy person? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Brilliant. What is a way you can show someone that you care about them? I think a lot of the time, even little gestures can show how much we love somebody. What is something that makes you feel upset? Okay. Now this one you can answer out loud, or again you can just think it in your mind, I don't mind. Describe the last time you felt sad. It doesn't have to be in any great detail. Okay. Describe the last time when you felt really excited. It doesn't have to be for anything like big, major. People get excited for different reasons, so. Okay. Describe the last time when you felt really at peace. So this just means when you felt totally at ease, relaxed, not anxious or worried or anything. Okay. When was the last time you felt lonely, and what made you feel better? So for this, a lot of people would say, oh well, if you're feeling lonely, you just need to seek out people. It's not always an option. It's not always the answer. So what I would suggest is doing something you enjoy, that you can really set your teeth into, kind of a hobby, or watch a film or something that you've been really into. You can go and see friends, obviously that would help, but if that's not an option, something else like that, yeah. What is something that makes you feel scared? So you don't have to be terrified out of your mind. Something that makes you kind of take a step back and not really want to do it. Okay. Describe the last time you felt a bit angry. It doesn't have to be a total fit of rage, maybe something just irritated you a little bit. What is one thing you love doing that makes you the happiest? What is your favourite thing to do? It can change from time to time, so at the moment it could be one thing, it could be a different thing maybe in the winter. Okay. Right. So we've done emotions. Let's move on to expression. Okay. So these are questions again about yourself. Just getting a little more information about you, okay? So what is one thing you wish to happen in the near future? It can be a little thing, it can be a big goal, one thing that you really want to happen in the near future. Wow, okay. Yeah. What is something nice you can say to yourself every day? It can be a compliment to yourself, or just a reminder about something that makes you happy, something really nice. what are some things that you love about yourself? Now, this tends to be one of the hard ones when I talk to people. For some reason, people find it hard to love things about themselves. I want you to think deep, and I want you to think about one thing you love about your physical appearance, one thing you love about your personality, and one thing you love about yourself that makes others happy. Again, you don't have to say them out loud, just think about them if you want to. What do you love most about the world? Okay. How would you describe yourself in a few words? We'll go with 3 words, and I want them all to be positive. That's wonderful. Okay, this one is a bit of a funny one. What is the worst thing you have eaten, and what made it so bad? Would you like to know mine? It was a sausage roll in the cafe at Asda, and I think the meat might have been off. That's just a fun little fact there. What is your idea of the perfect day? Okay. Some people's perfect day is going for a 50-mile bike ride, whereas others is sitting in bed, eating chocolate and watching a film. There's no wrong or right answer. Now, what is the best thing that happened to you today? It could be something as simple as getting out of bed or winning the lottery. What is something that always makes you laugh? Always, no matter what. What are some things you love about your friends and family? What is your favourite colour, and what does it remind you of? Alright, so that was expression. Now we'll move on to inquiry. Now, you have to think a little bit harder for some of these. Okay? So what is a memory you have that makes you happy when you think about it? Okay, was that recently? Or... What do you think is the best job in the world, and why? Could be something crazy like an astronaut because they get to see space, or maybe a dog walker because they get to meet every dog. Okay, interesting. Describe a time when you did something that you didn't think you'd be able to do. Could be maybe an exam did really well, or you even just sat the exam because you didn't think you could even do that. Or maybe you did something wild like skydiving. Maybe you went somewhere that made you anxious. Maybe you brushed your teeth when you didn't think you had the energy to do so. What are some things that spark your curiosity? Do you have something that you're really interested in researching? Something that just makes you think? Okay. What is one lesson that you've learned from the past? Okay. What is something that you are proud of? Again, something huge, something small, something that just makes you feel good inside and you're proud of. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be? Wow, okay. What are some things you love about nature? Okay. What do you like about meeting new people? Even if you don't like meeting new people, if you were forced to and you like the person, what do you like about meeting new people? Okay. Now I want you to describe one of your friends and tell me why they're your friend. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, that's really, really nice. Describe a time when you acted as a good friend. You just needed a little support. Yeah, that's brilliant. What does being a good person mean to you personally? Again, no right or wrong answers. I just want you to tell me what you think. Okay. Alright, now we're moving on to the final category of cards, which is mindfulness. Okay. Why do you think it's important to be kind? Okay. Why do you think it's important to be patient? Yeah, we learned that last time, right? Yeah. Okay. Why do you think it's important to be aware of our thoughts and feelings? So that's your own thoughts and feelings. What do you think it means to be compassionate towards others? Okay. Why do you think that? Okay. Describe a time when you forgave someone and how did it make you feel? You don't have to tell me why or what they did. Okay. Why do you think it's important to be honest? This means with yourself and with other people. Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. Why do you think it's important to be calm? Okay. Can you tell me about a time when you thought it was hard to be calm? Okay. Can you tell me about a time when it was hard to be patient? Okay. Who are some people you are thankful for and why? Yeah, it could be somebody you've never even met, or your closest friend, maybe a parent. Why do you think it's important to not worry about the past or the future? Okay. Why is it important to be accepting of people's differences? Brilliant. Okay, yeah. What makes you personally feel most calm? Okay. And do you feel like you use that when you need it? Not as much as you should. Okay. That's very honest. Okay. So that's all of our cards. Let me just write down a few things just so I remember. How did you feel like that went? There's no need to be nervous. No, as I said, no right or wrong answers, just your truth. Okay. And did you find any of that helpful? Did it make you think at all? Okay. Okay. Now, you might remember these cards from last time. We're just going to do a quick little refresher, a recap. So these are the emotions, and these are the activities that we would recommend for different emotions. So start with shy. If you're feeling shy and you want to do something about it, I would recommend something like dancing. It doesn't have to be dancing. This is more of a generalization of taking a class or doing a group activity. Feeling shy, you need to push yourself to be out there. Yeah. Confused. Maybe you're confused about what you should be doing next. Confused about emotions. I would say do something relaxing. So something like painting or reading. Maybe some gardening or get the blood flowing and thinking about things, running. Gives you time to think. Happy. So you're feeling happy, you want to keep up the happiness. Something like running again, get those endorphins going. Maybe cycling, dancing, swimming. I think when you're happy, you need to get yourself moving to keep up that happiness. Excited. Now, this isn't overexcited. If it was overexcited, I would give a different activity to do, but as it is just excited, I would again say maybe a group activity or something quite peaceful like painting, maybe cooking, or even reading a book. Angry. Now, for angry, you usually want to calm down. So, again, reading, something to chill out and do. Maybe gardening. Something just relaxing. Some people are on the opposite end of the spectrum, where if they're angry, they feel like they need to get it physically out of them. So an activity like swimming, cycling, jogging, that would be for them. Finally, scared. Usually when we're scared, I recommend doing the thing you're scared of. If it's an activity or something like that that scares you, it's almost always better to force yourself to do it. But if you're feeling overwhelmed and scared, like it's just a little too much, I'm going to do something relaxing, like painting, cooking, reading, or gardening. That was just a little refresher of those emotions, yeah? And then I've got one more activity to do with you, if that's okay. So last time we looked at some charts. We had the chart at the back that was talking about things I can control and things I can't control. So we looked at that. And now I have this really in-depth chart about emotions. I'm not going to go through every single one, as you can see there's quite a lot, but we'll just have a look at some of them, okay? So, happy, optimistic, intimate, peaceful, powerful, accepted, proud, interested, joyful. And then they move down and we release different emotions like liberated, ecstatic, amused, inquisitive, important, confident, respected, fulfilled, courageous, provocative, loving, hopeful, sensitive, playful, open, inspired. So you can see happiness leads to all of these different emotions, different activities and expressions. Now if we move over to something like anger, it can be critical of people, distant, frustrated, aggressive, mad, hateful, threatened and hurt. And if left to linger, I can move on to embarrassed, devastated, insecure, jealous, resentful, violated, provoked, hostile, infuriated, irritated, withdrawn, suspicious, skeptical, sarcastic. So if you think of the inner ring as the emotions we're feeling, and then the outer ring as how we project that from ourselves, sometimes onto other people. But if we try and get these emotions under control, mainly the negative ones, before they start affecting others, in ourselves we will feel better. So if you're happy or surprised, you can let those emotions run wild, and maybe you'll help other people also feel that. So surprise can move on to energetic, astonished, or eager. They can also be shocked, dismayed, disillusioned. So you've just got to keep an eye and kind of feel your own body and how you're feeling, and figure out how that is going to move out of this circle and start affecting other people. Yes, you can take this one with you. It's got a reminder of the things you can and can't control on the back. So I'm going to give you one of these just to look at now and then. It doesn't have to be like a rule book or anything that you follow. Okay. How did you feel like our session went? I know it wasn't as in-depth as last time. I was just finding out a bit more about how you think and how you think your emotions work. Okay. Oh well, I'm glad you feel that it's helped a little bit. Feel free to revisit me anytime. Yep, I'm always here. 2 o'clock, right? Okay. Thanks so much. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.